strength in depth. We'll see whether that plays out again in any particular way, whether there's tactics or just focus on individual races here. Well, it all depends, as I say, on what kind of race we're going to see, Phil Minchell.
Well, it's looking as though at this stage it's going to be Reitinen, the defending champion, who's leading it out, and it's a fairly decent place for a championship steeplechase. Of course, Reitinen, going back to 2022, won in 8:20, 1:80. Looking as though it's that sort of pace.
Molly Cordery then, a failure at 4:78. Past any more attempts, a failure at 4:83. This for Cordery. She has to go clear here, or she takes the bronze. Oh, my word, no. Just misjudges it, and she knows too. Goodness me. She had the height. She has another major championship medal. It'll be a sobering experience for her after the World Indoor Championships. She is one of the favourites for Paris and takes the bronze like Holly Bradshaw did back in 2018 in Berlin. It's brilliant to get on the rostrum. She's still so young. But here, next to go, is Moser. So Cordery, a frustration. She'll know too what she's done wrong, but able to smile and take it philosophically, which is great.
1.5 laps into this race. Two Italians then, now at the front. Zoglami and Bui, we can see here. So we'll get an idea of the first kilometre split when they come through next time around. But suddenly then, bit of a move at the front there, and it is Zoglami making that gap. Well, interesting tactic from him. He was the bronze medalist 2 years ago.
Moser at 4:83. She cleared 4:78 first time. She has the lead. It's not to be. But Moser, in one of the upsets of the championships, has taken gold. Goodness me, equals a national record of 4:78. And as ever in the vertical jumps, even if you win gold, you can finish on a failure. It's one of the great ironies. 4:78 first time, and the only athlete clear at 4:78. Stefanidi at first time clearance at 4:73. Taking the silver. She had a failure at 4:78. She's had 2 failures at 4:83. And that is Swiss gold, my word. Very sweet Swiss gold, as sweet as Swiss chocolate. Timed it to perfection. Absolutely brilliant. And that is the first medal for Switzerland, with only one other silver in these championships. And Stefanidi's celebrating. She's taken down the young pretender Cordery with that silver medal, and Cordery can celebrate. She and her dad Stuart have to be satisfied with another medal for the collection, a building collection.
So 2:47 for the opening kilometre, but that was just for the leader Zoglami, who was 3 seconds ahead then of the pack, with Daru of France, Bedrani, his teammate there, Daniel Arke, the European leader. So fascinating tactic from our leader. Puts him on for around 8:21 pace, Phil.
Yes, 8:21, very similar pace to what we saw back in 2022. But at the moment, most of the main protagonists are back and just watching to see what Zoglami can do. He may have just taken it on too quickly, too early. Bui, Arke are the men we should be watching. Reitinen, of course, had a very competent run in the heats as well. And he's stuttering there, stuttering badly. I'm just wondering whether he's pushed too hard too soon. Maybe he would have been better off just staying with the pace, but he doesn't have much of a sprint finish, whereas the likes of Bui, as we saw, Bedrani, Arke, and some of the other men just trailing off behind them definitely do have a fast finish.
Well, it's interesting because he's a quality athlete of great pedigree, and sometimes you see someone trying to chance it, take their opportunity in a European final, but this is an experienced man compared to, you've got the likes of Miele of France in the pack. This is his 5th ever steeplechase, not that much experience. Yasin Boui took to the event in 2021 for the first time. We can see there Raitanen, just as he was in the heat, struggling a little with this pace now. Not had the cleanest year so far, so may have a difficult time further back. Mark Pearce is there for Great Britain and Northern Ireland, coached by Luke Gunn, who's watching on as part of the British team staff here. But Zoghlami, 3 laps to go for him.
Yes, 3 laps to go, but the main pack behind them look as though they're closing. He had a 30-metre advantage going across the line just a moment ago, and now they're coming up to the 1 kilometre to go mark, coming up to the 2-kilometre point. It's on the far side of the arena, and it'll be a good test. Well, Arke grimacing, but Bedrani, though, looking very comfortable at this stage. Boui starting to slip back. Boui, for my money, he just looks extremely comfortable at the moment, and they are definitely closing on Zoghlami, without a doubt. It's now down to about 15 metres. Zoghlami, well, he cleared that hurdle very, very well, has to be said. Arke now speeding up going into that hurdle, but he's grimacing. He's looking as though he's going through the pain barrier. 2 laps to go. Zoghlami's just pushed again. He's just put about another 5 metres between himself and the chasing pack. Moving up, it's one of the Germans. I think it's Bebendorf.
Yeah, it was 5:31 after 2K. It was actually a faster split there. He did most of the hard work, though, in the early part of that kilometre. Now, kind of that gap has been maintained. You just wondered whether the pack were going to work together, led by Arke and Rupert, the first of the Germans. In fact, it is. Then Bedrani, who we picked out before the race, perhaps the best Frenchman, 8:13.73. Well, a number of these men have struggled for high-quality competition opportunities this year, as we see Arke gritting his teeth, maybe getting a little bit tired, grimacing quite a lot there. But this pack is running more and more in single file. Rupert looking more in control as he edges into second place. All the Frenchmen together, though, and suddenly, like a swarm of bees, they're closing up ever more on Zoghlami, hitting the bell. 7:16 into this race now. More momentum off the barrier. Rupert in the gold vest of Germany, running the long way round, but it's Arke right up onto the shoulder. Doesn't quite go past just yet. Zoghlami still holding on, and now trying to fight for space, as we saw with Gemma Reekie in the 1500 final, who was taken over by Kieran McGeehan in the latter stages. And suddenly, Miele, who has so little experience in this event, he's out front for France, who of course won so many consecutive titles in this event, with Makissi Benabad dominating this event for years at a European level. Oh, it's so often been France against Spain. Germany trying to fight their way through. Late arrivals to the party here, though, is Bebendorf. One more barrier to go. Miele against Bedrani. Great spinch off the final barrier. A French one too. Miele and Bedrani, with Bebendorf closing there. Well, he was nowhere to be seen, really, with 400 to go. But Alexis Miele, the heat with his 4th steeplechase race ever. Extraordinary how he's come in and done that. 8:14.01 when we were on for 8:21 pace. Similar, as you said, what Raitanen did 2 years ago. He was well beaten, not at his best, but that